The quote I have is from Geoffrey Chaucer. Patience is a conquering virtue. And last night, I talked about what psychologists have identified as three basic varieties of patience. Interpersonal patience, which is patience with other people, their demands and feelings. Life hardship patience, which means having the patience to overcome serious setbacks in life. And daily hassles patience. I think pretty much everybody knows what that is. But the understanding now is that patience is not some character trait or virtue that a person has or doesn't have. It actually has its foundation in the way your brain functions, and in particular, one neurotransmitter called serotonin. When serotonin is stimulated in certain areas of the brain in the prefrontal cortex, it leads to comfort with what they call delayed gratification. There's not frustration when you don't get what you want immediately. You're comfortable. And that's not surprising because serotonin is called a mood stabilizer or a happiness hormone. In contrast, I'm about to talk about this, to the other neurotransmitters, which are pleasure generating hormones. So serotonin is at the basis of patience. And what I thought I would do is, just as a refresher, talk about, there are 40 different neurotransmitters in the brain, at least, but four of the main ones that we're familiar with are serotonin, and you've heard of the term dopamine, and also oxytocin and endorphins. So I'm going to give you a little mini primer on these key neurotransmitters, hormones. So serotonin plays an important role, as I said, in regulating and modulating mood, sleep, anxiety, sexuality, and appetite. Selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, SSRIs, are a type of antidepressant medication commonly prescribed to treat depression, anxiety, panic disorder, and panic attacks. And SSRIs work to balance serotonin levels, which can help improve mood and reduce feelings of anxiety. I should pause here by saying the reason I'm talking about it here is there's research that shows that, not surprisingly, transcendental meditation raises serotonin levels. The other of the four, dopamine, is commonly involved in reward, motivation. Several types of addictive drugs increase dopamine levels in the brain. This chemical messenger also plays an important role in the coordination of body movements. For example, Parkinson's disease, which is a degenerative disease that results in tremors and motor movement impairments, is caused by the loss of dopamine-generating neurons in the brain. The third, oxytocin. This powerful hormone acts as a neurotransmitter in the brain, is produced by the hypothalamus in the center of your brain, and plays a role in social recognition, bonding, and sexual reproduction. It's present during childbirth. It's present during nursing. It's present during hugging, orgasm. It's a cuddle, called the cuddle hormone. And finally, endorphins. These neurotransmitters inhibit the transmission of pain signals and can promote feelings of euphoria. For a long time, it was called the runner's high, but now there's some question whether that's really the case, since very few runners ever report when they're running really hard and for a very long time that they experience a runner's high created by endorphins that may come from other neurotransmitters in the brain. But it definitely inhibits pain and stress. So those are your four basics: serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphins. As they say, the brain is the best pharmacy. It creates what it needs when it needs it, in just the right amount. I have another poem by Mary Oliver called Patience. What is the good life now? Why, look here. Consider the moon's white crescent rounding slowly over the half month to still another perfect circle. The shining eye that lightens the hills, that lays down the shadows of the branches of the trees, that summons the flowers to open their sleepy faces and look up into the heavens. I used to hurry everywhere and leaped over the running creeks. There wasn't time enough for all the wonderful things I could think of to do in a single day. Patience comes to the bones before it takes root in the heart as another good idea. I say this as I stand in the woods and study the patterns of the moon shadows, or stroll down into the waters that now, late summer, have also caught the fever and hardly move from one eternity to another. Thank you all so much for joining. Have a lovely rest of your afternoon or evening, and we'll connect soon.